Germany is just over a week away from another key state election in Brandenburg. It follows ballots in two other eastern states, Thuringia and Saxony, which saw a surge in support for the far right. New polling indicates a similar trend in Brandenburg, putting the far-right Alternative of Germany just ahead of the governing Social Democrats, or SPD. The Conservative Christian Democrats, or CDU, is running third, while the Sarah-Wagenknecht Alliance, or BSW, is in fourth place. Both those parties have lost a few points since the last survey. Let's bring in our political correspondent, Giulia Saudelli. Explain to our viewers what is driving voters so far to the right for the first time since Nazis ran this country.
Yeah, we've seen that happen in Thuringia, where the AFD came in first in the state election at the beginning of September, and we might be seeing it now in Brandenburg as we see that it's a neck-and-neck race between the AFD and the Social Democrats, the SPD. What has been driving a lot of the debate is the issue of migration. We've seen that also in the other state elections at the beginning of the month in Thuringia and Saxony. We're seeing it again now. According to polls, 40% of voters say migration is the biggest issue in this election, followed by education. But this doesn't appear to be surprising. We've seen the issue of migration being debated very much at the national level, for example, with the issue dominating the headlines. And we've also seen the political campaigns in these states, especially, for example, from the far-right AFD party, very much focusing on the issue of migration.
Will the federal government's tightening of border checks to send back people who shouldn't be allowed into the country next week change voters' minds in any way?
It is hard to tell in this short time frame what exactly is driving voters' decisions. We've seen that compared to last week, the Chancellor's party, the Social Democrats, SPD, has gained 3% and is catching up to the AFD. Now, this could well be driven by the fact that voters are appreciating the government's tougher stance on its measures on migration, saying that it wants to act to curb migration. But it could also be that voters have seen the success of the AFD in Thuringia coming in first and have maybe gotten scared of that and have decided to instead move their vote somewhere else. But we've also heard of some cases of tactical voting. For example, voters of the Greens a party which, according to the latest polls, might not even make it into the state parliament. They are considering voting strategically against the AFD, giving their vote not to their preferred party, the Greens, but, for example, to the Social Democrats to try to keep the AFD away from the first place.
Giulia Saudelli, thank you very much for your analysis.